Yeah, you don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. Now I'm sipping on this whiskey, got one chance and it's risky, so you can't play around. And I got my team behind me like a background. I don't never back down, picking up the slack now. Now I'm focused, keep on grinding for my stacks now. I'm feeling lost in this ocean, where's a lighthouse? I keep on swinging for the fence and I ain't strike out. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling, yeah, that's how I'm feeling now. We're not here for a long time, yeah. This 9 to 5, it's a long grind, yeah. A lot of to success, it's a long climb, yeah. Now I'm sitting here making up for time, yeah. Man, I took so many losses that I lost count. I didn't know what I was made of, but I found out. And this life will blindside, you better look out. These haters wanna see you fall and get you took out. Yeah, cause I fell on my face, and this life is a race. I keep on checking my place. Now I'm riding for my team, you can tell by my plates. And this life just threw a hook, it caught me right in the face. But I'm getting back up, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll climb a couple of mountains, I'll swim a couple of lakes. Don't got time for the bitching, don't got time for complaints. Now you going through some shit, now tell me, how does it taste? You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. Now I'm living with my choices, I just own my mistakes. Cause I'm screaming fucking hand out, I ain't searching for breaks. But I'm barely treading water and this life is the lake. Now the pressure keeps on building as I'm raising the stakes. I ain't looking for advice, now I'm looking for space. Now I'm dealing with these losses, but I know I hate the taste. Now I'm sitting back, I'm thinking as I smoke it to the face. Now it's time for these apologies, the time it's too late. So bygones be bygones, I'm on business with a tie on. So fuck a shoulder to cry on, I'ma get a hopping like Zion. Let's raise a glass, I'll toast that. Reminisce, we roast that. How I wrote them and ain't wrote back. I'm never flimsy, the goat's back. So I don't feel bad, no not at all. When a lot of years, write a lot of calls, a lot of birthdays without a call. Ain't got time for that, so fuck a fraud. You ain't there for me, I ain't there for you. You won't bleed for me, I won't bleed for you. All the hard times I lived through, keep moving, gotta get through. I got goals and cash, I gotta get to. All these memories that I flipped through. If you can't relate, then don't judge. I stand my ground, I won't budge. I'm sitting back cause I burn buds. I swear to God, this life's good. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through.
Hello, I'm Marcel Kalinovic, the Butcher of Wall Street. Welcome to Boss Blunt's Think Tank. I'm here today with Pantheon AMC, Cash, and all of my friends in the think tank to discuss the just released a couple hours ago frequently asked questions directly from AMC Theaters Chief Executive Officer Adam Aron. This video is the next in a series exploring the implications of geopolitical and macroeconomic issues on the global financial system. Again, welcome and join us for the stream. Hey, Grandpa, DBR, Broke, Kenny, everybody, thank you much for coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Pantheon, thanks for joining me. Raindrop, Queen Bee, Cash Money. We got all of our good friends here. Diablo, Dakota, Chris Blue, Paul P. You guys just listen to Paul P music. Mama Bear, thank you for coming out as well. Rand Steve, Road Dog, you guys are awesome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a recently filed Form 8K with the SEC here on August 4th, which was the first filing. But just today, AMC's come out with this frequently asked questions. Can everybody hear me all right in the think tank?
I'm good.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Thanks, guys. What's up, Tama, TMI? Everybody, thanks for coming out. So let's start out quickly by answering for those people that may not be aware. What is an APE? You know, that's the stock ticker, APE, which stands for AMC Preferred Equity Unit. So we're going to blaze through this pretty quickly here because it's a little long, but we are going to hit every important topic here and all of the FAQ. For those of you that are either too lazy or too busy to go read it for yourselves, you'll notice if you watched the video that we did about 2 days ago, you'll see a lot of the information lines up because we got our information from where? Directly from the 8K. So now Adam Aron and AMC have come out to dispel what little FUD is left, although you can assure yourselves that there are still attempts to create fear, uncertainty, and despair. What is an AMC Preferred Equity Unit? Each AMC Preferred Equity Unit, hereinto referred as APES, is designed to have the same economic value as a share of Class A common stock. Each APE unit is designed to have the same voting rights as a share of common stock. And that is quite different, for those of you that are unaware, that is pretty different from what you would see in other preferred equity stock. It's not often that's where that's the case, but Adam Aron has been thinking of his retail investors. The AMC Preferred Equity Unit will trade on the NYSE under the ticker symbol APE, and an AMC Preferred Equity Unit is a depository share, with each AMC Preferred Equity Unit representing a 1/100th interest in a share of AMC's Authorized Series A convertible participating preferred stock. Also, Pantheon, Cash, you guys feel free to jump in anytime, okay? If there's a point that needs to be made, it is always appreciated.
Sure, we'll jump in for one quick sec. So we'll get later into the 2013 IPO, where the 50 million preferred shares were originally set up by the company. But it's important to know that the company and every company in their IPO information, that's kind of boilerplate, they have the ability to make preferred shares have voting rights or not voting rights. Typically they don't. Marcel's 100% correct. That's why they made the change for this one. And they have the ability to do that. All companies do. It's standard. So there's nothing strange about that. Just want to add that point.
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. When is the AMC Preferred Equity Unit being issued? There's a lot of FUD going around and misinformation and brokers giving out bad information, because when you've got junior brokers working on this thing, they don't really know a damn thing. They're pretty much just going with whatever information they can get. And the dividend payment date for this is going to be Friday, August 19th, 2022. Excuse me. At the close of business. Now, for those of you that are unaware, per my understanding, previously it was understood that it would be T+2 settlement, but I've come to realize that there is actually T+0 settlement on this dividend payment date. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm fairly positive that if you buy it, and this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor of any kind, this is just theoretically speaking, if someone were to buy AMC on the 19th before the end of the close of business, they would receive the dividend payment date.
That's correct.
Thank you, sir. The important date here is the fact that August 19th is a Friday, and so therefore it will be issued at the close of business. You will not be able to trade if you want to buy more APE, for example, or sell it. Granted, selling it would probably be the worst thing that a retail investor could do should they want to maintain their value in AMC and APE. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I cannot tell anybody what to do or not to do, because that's not what we're here for. So people will be able to buy and sell it on the market on Monday. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people didn't receive it, or it wasn't showing up in their account yet on Monday, or even Tuesday, or even Wednesday, as a matter of fact. And if that were to occur to me, I would be on the phone with all of my brokers, all of my stockbrokers, raising hell to figure out where are my dividend shares. That's my plan. So I better get my fucking AMC and my ape. If an investor sells... Go ahead, bro.
Oh, sorry. There's been a lot of talk about the date of August 15th, this past Monday as well. So we can put a closer to all that kind of FUD out there for people as well. So as of the 15th, the record holders of AMC stock, Class A common stock, got put onto a list. Now, transactions that took place between the 15th, which was last Monday, and this Friday, the 19th, anyone who sells their stock during that time gets taken off that list, and the people who bought it get put on that list. I'm trying to just make this super simple for people because they've seen the 15th, the 19th, and the 22nd, and people are getting confused by it, and it is worded strangely in the original filing. So just know, guys, that if you sold your stock after the 15th, you're not going to get the ape. Now, if you bought AMC Class A preferred, or sorry, AMC common stock, Class A common stock, yesterday, today, tomorrow, up until the close of business, as Marcel just said, you replace the person who was on that list for their ape. You will get the ape.
Yes, sir. Thanks for bringing that up, Pantheon. That's why I love having you here with me, because sometimes I don't mention everything that should be mentioned in my haste to move onwards. If an investor sells shares of our common stock on the NYSE before that ex-dividend date of August 22nd, that investor will not be entitled to the AMC preferred equity unit dividend on the shares of common stock that are sold. If an investor buys our common stock on the NYSE before the dividend date of August 22nd, that investor will be entitled to receive the APE unit. AMC preferred equity units will begin trading on the NYSE on the ex-dividend date of August 22nd. However, the first initial trade of the APE units may not commence exactly with the market opening. We expect the first APE trade will occur on the NYSE sometime between the market opening at 9:30 a.m. and noon Eastern Daylight Time on August 22nd of 2022. After the first trade is made, we would expect to see continuous trading thereafter.
Give me my damn dirty app.
Giddy up. Are the AMC preferred equity units convertible into common stock? If so, when? So technically, yes, the APE units can be converted into common stock, but only if the AMC board proposes and then investors vote to approve an increase in the number of authorized shares of common stock in an amount at least sufficient to permit the conversion of the APE units into common stock. However, we do not currently expect the AMC board to make any such proposal anytime soon. It is more likely than not that two securities, the common stock and the preferred equity units, will trade as two separate securities for quite some time to come.
That is super important, folks. That point is really, really important. The people spreading FUD right now saying that they're just going to convert them, the AMC board of directors cannot do that without a vote. And as we talked about on Marcel's last stream, the last time they asked you guys to vote on anything took a couple of months to issue the proxies, to collect the votes, to have a deadline for the votes to be done. This is not a process that takes place in a week or even 2 weeks or a month. This takes longer than that. When they ask us to make the vote, and the board of directors are the only people who can ask us to vote, and we as shareholders will make that vote, and we do not lose any ownership provided you don't sell your AMC Class A common stock this week. You will get the same ownership after the apes are issued that what you have right now.
That's a fantastic point. And I would like to mention one thing. This is not on the frequently asked questions, but back in January of 2021, AMC issued shares and sold them on the market. Some people call this dilution. What happened to the price of AMC and GameStop in January? It shot up, until the point where brokers had to go position close only and prevent people from physically prevent people from buying by taking away the buy button. In addition, AMC issued shares in May of 2021, and what happened to the stock? started to shoot up. Because where there's a supply and demand issue, and when these shares get issued, you bet that people are going to want to get their hands on them, including broker dealers that take the other side of the trade, market makers and hedge funds that trade opposite of you, and other institutions that want to buy or sell shares. Now, I will touch base on the fact that BlackRock sold some AMC a little bit later in the video, and we, as a think tank, will explain why we believe that to be the case and why it was smart for them to do so and actually really good for retail investors.
Mr. Marcel, can I jump back to point 2 for one quick second?
Please do.
I should have mentioned this when you were on it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
The question of when the preferred equity unit will be issued, just so people know, and I'm international, I'm from Canada. I spoke to my broker, RBC, one of the biggest brokers out there. RBC confirmed to me, and it's recorded, that they will get from, and we'll get into the transfer agent stuff, they are going to receive the apes on Friday, and they will have in my account the apes at the close of business this Friday. So they have already confirmed to me on that as well. I know people are talking about the 24th and the 22nd and all that. I've heard this directly from my broker, so I just want to flag that to people. If you're seeing emails or things on Twitter, just call your brokers directly, ask for a senior broker, and ask them the question that when that starts trading, it better be in my account.
Absolutely. Like we said, if I don't receive my broker, my apes from my broker, I'm going to be looking for answers. And from the way people
and I can confirm from a Swedish broker that they will be in our accounts by the start of the 22nd trading.
Which broker told you that?
Avanza in Sweden.
Okay, thanks for sharing, brother. Appreciate you, Martin. Do I need to do anything to receive the AMC preferred equity unit dividend? To receive the dividend, you must own shares of common stock at the end of trading on Friday, August 19th, 2022. If an investor sells our stock on the NYSE before that dividend date of August 22nd, which is the ex-dividend date, that investor will not be entitled to the AMC preferred equity unit. If an investor buys our common stock on the NYSE before the ex-dividend date of August 22nd, that investor will be entitled to receive the AMC preferred equity unit dividend on the shares of common stock purchased. AMC will be delivering the APE units dividend via computer share to the Depository Trust Company, the DTC, who will then deliver them to your broker. How each individual broker then handles the dividends is determined by the broker and is governed by your brokerage agreement. Your broker is important, ladies and gentlemen. Who you trade with matters. And Robinhood wasn't allowing, I'm going to stop here, this is off the FAQ, but Robinhood was not allowing this to be traded. Because, well, I'm sorry, I take that back. They were not allowing people to buy the APE unit. They were only allowing people to sell. They were going to make it position close only. But after retail investors created a ruckus on Twitter out of frustration, it seems that Robinhood may have realized that they made a grave error. And that mistake was that if Robinhood were not to allow people to buy the APE AMC preferred equity unit, which they have now spun around, done a complete 180 and said that they are able to buy. So you are able to buy APE on Robinhood, supposedly, once it begins trading on the 22nd. That's what Robinhood has said on Twitter. If they hadn't done that, there would likely be a mass exodus of people leaving Robinhood. That would force the broker-dealer, Robinhood, to have to fetch thousands, if not millions, of shares of AMC to provide to the new broker. That would be an absolute terrible run on their company, like a financial run, if you will, to the point where they would probably lose a lot of value and it would cause the stock price of AMC and APE to go even higher. So they were pretty much forced by their, let's say, not willingness, but out of necessity. Robinhood was forced to allow the trading of preferred equity units, which they have never allowed the preferred equity shares to be purchased on Robinhood in history, which is unprecedented, if you ask me. Absolutely unprecedented. It says, okay, let's move on. In most cases, you'll need to take no action, and APEs will automatically go into your account. However, if that does not happen, you should immediately contact your broker. This is directly from the FAQ now. Some brokerage firms will deposit APEs quickly, while others may take several days to do so. If you have any questions about the distribution, you have to contact your brokerage firm. AMC cannot help you. Now, another important point on the AMC unit, the APE unit, is the cash dividend. Is it a cash dividend? No, this is not a cash dividend at all. They will issue one APE unit as a dividend for every share of common stock. There are some brokers still saying things, this is off the FAQ, saying things that you will not receive it in the form of APE, or that you will receive only cash dividend. But they have since seemed to also, out of necessity, turned around and stated that is not the case, that you will be receiving the APE unit. What actually happens is yet to be seen, but we do understand what is supposed to happen. And if that doesn't happen, well, then that gives AMC a lot of ability to make changes, let's put it that way. And what many people don't realize is they could possibly even allow them to force a share recall. Not a recount, because we've already had many share counts, but a share recall, which is completely different. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it opens the world of possibilities if we don't receive our APE properly. And even if we do, it potentially exposes synthetics to a great deal. The APE unit, okay, we already know it'll be trading under ticker symbol APE. They'll be delivering it to ComputerShare via the DTC, who will then deliver them to your broker. We already discussed that. Some investors own an amount of common stock that includes fractional shares. Okay, AMC will not deliver fractional APE units. If you hold shares of common stock directly in the DRS, direct registry system of ComputerShare, you will receive APEs for the whole number of shares you own, plus any fractional shares of common stock. Will receive cash in lieu of a fractional APE unit. So theoretically, if you have a quarter of a share, you will receive a quarter of the value of an APE unit. Hypothetically, for example, if you own 43.4 shares of common stock, you would receive 43 APEs and cash for the 0.4 shares. That is the only case in which anybody would receive cash. ComputerShare will sell AMC preferred equity units on the open market in order to deliver cash to the applicable holders in lieu of any fractional APE units. If you hold fractional shares of common stock through a broker and have questions about the treatment of your fractional share, please contact your brokerage firm. AMC and I cannot answer what your brokerage agreement states. You have to talk to your broker yourself. Each broker determines what types of securities it will support on its trading platform. This goes right back around to what we were just discussing about Robinhood. And the fact that out of necessity, out of desperation, out of fear, Robinhood was forced to allow the trading of preferred equity units. If you have questions, contact your fucking broker. Do the AMC preferred equity units have voting rights? As Pantheon stated so eloquently earlier, yes, the AMC preferred equity units are designed to have the same voting rights as common stock. And it is not always the case, but in this, there are some times where it's possible, and Adam Aron has thought of retail investors and allowed to give us the voting rights. Now, Pantheon, would you mind touching on what you stated earlier in regards to people's concerns about potential institutions having voting rights and why that's not actually a concern of ours? Would you mind touching on that?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
You got it, my man. So right now we own, whether you want to say it's 80%, 85%, 90%, whatever, guys. There's been different numbers thrown out. But retail owns the majority of the float, as per AMC. So what we have here is the percent ownership that we own today is going to be the same percent ownership that we own as of Monday when the apes are issued in all of our accounts. So we will own the same percentage. That's not dilution. Now, let's say, for example, that Adam Aron, and we'll get to the 483 million remaining apes in the rest of this frequently asked questions. Stay with us, folks, because we're going to put all that FUD to rest. And by the way, everything in this FAQ matches exactly what this channel has been saying since the start of the apes. It is 100% consistent, guys, so I'm proud to say that. So what we have here is, even if the board of directors sold the remaining 483 million apes, even if they did, and we'll get to that later in the FAQ, to the people who own the short positions, adding that to their current amount of AMC stock that they own. Remember, short positions don't get a vote, so the shares that they own, which they're selling recently, most of them, you double that for their apes, plus add 483 million, they still don't have enough votes, even if a vote was called, to get this through, to convert them from the ape units into Class A common stock. Now, we're going to get into that stuff in more detail yet in these questions to come. We're not even halfway through the FAQ, so stay with us, folks.
Sounds like another scene out of Hamilton. You don't have the votes.
Exactly.
Do the AMC preferred equity units have voting rights? Yes, of course they do. And as Pantheon just stated, that's under the control of Adam Aron, the board of directors, and the hedge funds do not have and would not be able to accumulate sufficient voting rights anyway. So that is good for us as retail in general. How many ape units are there? All right, theoretically, here's the important part. Theoretically, over the lifetime of the security, the max number of ape units that could be authorized over time is up to 5 billion, based on the total number of authorized preferred stock of 50 million. However, the AMC board currently has only authorized the equivalent of 1 billion of these ape units that can be issued now. 516,820,595 out of these 1 billion ape units are being issued this month to shareholders as a dividend. The AMC board currently has no plan or intention in calendar years 2022 or 23 to authorize more than this initial 1 billion amount of apes. However, AMC's board of directors may authorize additional ape units at any time in the future at its sole discretion, including 2022 or 23, if it deems such an issuance to be in AMC's best interest. And they give you the website if you want to visit it. But I'm going to go off the FAQ here and give my personal opinion on this information, is the fact that if more of these need to be issued, let's put it this way, as the rest of these are sold to the equivalent of up to 1 billion, that puts money in AMC's coffers. And converting ape units into AMC, some people might see it as dilution, but it would bring massive amounts of money, dollars, millions, hundreds of millions, potentially even billions with an S, into AMC's coffers. And if retail investors are smart enough to vote, yes, I want to convert ape into AMC, then we will potentially see a massive run-up in price like we did back in January and June of 2021. The reason for that, again, is supply and demand. It causes fear of missing out buying, delta hedging, and gamma squeezing. And all combined, it leads to short squeeze. And even more so, the mother of all short squeezes. Back to the FAQ. Go ahead, brother.
This item number 7 that we just went through, guys, is to me the most important one on this entire list, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of the FUD and fear that's being put out there by people, including good YouTubers, but they're and bad ones, but they're putting out their information saying you're going to get 4.5 billion apes dropped on you next week. Lots of them are saying that. This dispels that. Okay?
Absolutely.
They're telling us they have no plan, no intention in the calendar years of 2022 and 2023 to authorize more than the 1 billion apes. There is nothing in here them telling us we're going to drop 4 billion apes on you guys. And just to add to that, which we talked about on Marcel's last stream, the 483 million preferred equity units that are remaining of the 1 billion minus the 516.8 million they're going to give all of us, the remaining 483, if the price was $22 and apes were 11 and AMC Class A common stock was 11, and they sold the remaining 483 million preferred equity units at the market at $11 a unit, that is 5.3 billion. That is more money than the current debt of the entire company. There is no reason to issue any more apes. If you can use the ones that, like, there's a reason they converted 10 million preferred shares into 1 billion apes, because 483 times what they expect the price to be, because you go below 10, you get the DTC haircut. So here you go, guys. This right here, there's a reason this 1 billion number was chosen. There is, the people who are spreading FUD will say there's a reason 5 billion was chosen. There's 50 million preferred shares. That's just how the numbers work. But they don't need more than a billion. They don't need it, guys.
Another thing I want to add for those of you that are curious about dilution, it actually would dilute it temporarily, and then Adam Aron could at any time issue a reverse stock split, bringing us right back to where we started, if not to even fewer shares. So to those that are concerned about it possibly delaying the MOAS, well, do you know when the MOAS is going to be right now? No, nobody does. So that's an impossible question to answer. But if your question is, will it help the stock price go up or go down? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. But my money's on it's going up. If you're issuing 516 million APE units as a dividend, what happens to the other 483.2 million? Well, as Pantheon just stated, the preferred stock underlying APE units remaining after the issuance of the dividend, approximately 483.2 million, will be categorized as authorized but unissued units on AMC's balance sheet. Cash money, baby. Cash money.
And unissued means nobody's voting on them.
Yes, sir.
They're authorized, but they're unissued, which means nobody's voting on those 483 until they're sold, guys.
Can AMC issue the 483 million units in the future without shareholder approval? The shareholders of AMC already approved the creation of the APE units back in 2013 and delegated its future issuance solely to the AMC board of directors. So I know some people might be new to AMC, but this is something that's already been approved from 2013. This is something that I can strongly get behind and I greatly appreciate here by the board of directors. Authorized but unissued APE units can be issued in the future in the same way that AMC can issue authorized but unissued shares of common stock. Normal regulations and requirements with respect to those share issuances still apply, including potential filings with the SEC and public disclosure, along with the circumstances under which shareholder approval is or is not required. Now, off the FAQ, I'll tell you guys that it seems to me like AMC is letting you know that when you start seeing public disclosures and potential filings with the SEC come around, don't believe the uncertainty and despair that some people are going to try to put a twist on it. You know, hedge funds and their bots and people that are paid to manipulate the way that people think are going to try to say that AMC is diluting and that it is going to delay the squeeze and a bunch of other stuff like that, much like you've already seen on Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. And again, this is not, AMC's not doing anything shady. They're coming out and telling you up front that you're going to see potential filings with the SEC and public disclosures in respect to these share issuances. APE units provide AMC with a currency that can be used in the future to further strengthen our balance sheet. They're literally printing money out of the short hedge funds' pockets. They are fucking short hedge funds right now because they're well aware that we're aware of all the manipulation that's occurred on the markets. And we'll touch on that here shortly after we're done with the FAQ. They can do this including by reducing our debt and other liabilities, they stated. The AMC preferred equity units also give AMC the ability to invest in shareholder value enhancing and transformative M&A investment opportunities. What does it mean by M&A?
Mergers and acquisitions.
Thank you. Just like they did with with shares of Hycroft Mining, HYMC, which Pantheon and I were lucky enough to interview Dr. Diane Garrett, CEO of Hycroft Mining Corporation, just a couple of weeks ago. So AMC owns about 25% of Hycroft, and therefore that means that we, as a byproduct, retail investors, own about 25% of Hycroft Mining Company. Indirectly. The AMC preferred equity units give AMC the ability to invest in shareholder value enhancing and transformative M&A investment opportunities. In addition, the flexibility provided by the company's AMC preferred equity units immensely lessens any survival risk as we continue to work our way through the impact of the COVID pandemic towards recovery and transformation. We've already got a lot of great news on our hands. AMC's making buckets of cash, especially in comparison to last year and the year prior. They're coming up on even beating their 2019 box office numbers, and there are significantly less movies now than there was in 2019. When will AMC issue or sell the remaining APE units? If and when the board chooses to issue or sell a portion of the authorized but unissued APE units, AMC will file the required documentation with the SEC and make appropriate public disclosures. They will come out and advise we, the retail investor, when this is going to occur. Therefore, don't let it sideswipe you as some sort of surprise. Plain and simple. The mere existence of authorized but unissued APE units does not imply anything about the amount or timing of future issuances or sales. It does not imply anything just because there's an existence of authorized but unissued APE units. Keep that in mind. So get rid of all of those misconceptions, leave all the what ifs behind, because there's nothing to read into other than they're there and they can be used when necessary.
Think of it like this, guys. When AMC first went public back in 2013, they had up to 524 million Class A common stock shares that they were allowed to issue to the market, but they only had like 100 million as of only a few years ago, right? So as they've had those shares authorized but not issued, they issued them at market offerings as they went along, right? Private offerings or public offerings. So again, those shares don't do anything until they actually issue them. They got them in their back pocket, but they don't need to use them just yet. Think of it that way, guys.
Bingo. When do the AMC preferred equity units start trading, and what will the price of the APE units be? This is something that people keep asking us about. Okay, APE units are expected to begin trading on the NYSE on the ex-dividend date of August 22nd. The APE units are expected to begin trading on the NYSE sometime between market opening at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and noon Eastern Daylight Time on the 22nd. The price of the APE units will be determined by buyers and sellers in the open market, meaning slap that ask is pretty important. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Because the AMC preferred equity unit is designed to have the same economic value and voting rights as a share of common stock, in theory, the common stock and the APE unit should have similar market values, and the impact of the APE unit dividend should be similar to a 2-to-1 stock split. This is off the FAQ, but he's not telling you that it is a 2-for-1 stock split or a 2-to-1 stock split, because it's not. That's what GameStop did. And GameStop was told the DTC to have 3 more cookies added on to the 1 cookie that you currently own of GameStop. And if instead of giving you 3 more cookies, they took your 1 cookie and broke it into 4 pieces. So even though GameStop issued almost the exact same stock split as Tesla did a couple of years back, the outcome was not the same in the fact that the DTC was failing to deliver the shares to the broker-dealers, and then told the broker-dealers, allegedly, to break that 1 cookie into 4 because they couldn't give you 3 more. So now GameStop shareholders have 4 shares instead of 1, whereas that's not the case with AMC, because AMC issued a completely separate equity unit in the form of this ape dividend. So it's not the same as a 2-to-1 stock split. AMC is just telling us that the unit dividend should be similar to a 2-to-1 stock split, an actual 2-to-1 stock split, not one in which the DTC allegedly informs brokers to break your cookie into 4 pieces instead of giving you 3 more. Now, back to the FAQ. An investor owning 1 share of common stock on August 19th will hold 1 share of common stock and 1 ape unit on August 22nd. An investor should therefore expect that the price of a standalone share of a common stock logically should at least initially decline. Yes, it has to, logically, because if they're going to issue a second ape unit dividend of around the same price, that would mean that the first one would have to be cut in or around about half. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be losing value immediately, theoretically, because you would be regaining it through the other equity unit, which would make you now have 2 cookies, each having half the value, making you completely whole. However, that investors' economic interest will be the sum of the price of a share of common stock plus the price of an ape. So your interest would be not just what AMC is valued, but what AMC and what ape are valued at together. Moving on. What happens to the options contracts? This has been a hot topic. What happens to options contracts related to AMC after the dividend is paid? There's information here and then other information which we're going to discuss right here immediately after I read this. The FAQ states AMC is not responsible for the terms or interpretations of options contracts. Please contact your broker for additional info. It is our general understanding that the strike price of options contracts related to our common stock should not change. Okay, so he's saying that the strike price should not change. Instead, each contract should apply to an equal number of shares of common stock and ape units. For example, a contract on 100 shares of AMC would become a contract on 100 shares of AMC plus 100 ape units. However, those trading options should consult with your brokers for more precise information about your situations. I made a video last week in which we were coming up to conclusions and throwing about ideas, and I was a little wrong. And I will be the first one to admit when I am wrong, because my intention here is only to provide accurate information. It does not seem that the strike price will be affected whatsoever per AMC's understanding. And new information that's come out from the Options Clearing Corporation, OCC, has told us that this is also appears to be the case. Pantheon, would you be able to elaborate on this if at all, or is there anything that we're missing here?
No, I think you've nailed everything we have so far.
Okay. So again, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, right? But if your option is now worth X and you have just 100 shares of AMC, if AMC says get cut in half and the other half that value goes into ape, you now have that option which holds 100 AMC and 100 ape, making you whole. That is very similar to what I'm currently experiencing with my BBIG calls, which are indicative of 100 BBIG and 10 shares of Tide, TYDE, because they're different. That is not the same as a 1-to-1 because the ratio for BBIG and Cryptide are different, but it's the same concept. My adjusted contracts for BBIG are now 100 shares of BBIG and 10 shares of Tide, which is very similar to what would happen with AMC per our understanding and per the information from AMC and the Options Clearing Corp. They would have 100 shares of AMC, 100 shares of APE underneath that same contract, call contract or put contract. Thank you very much, Tony and Mitch. That's too kind of you guys. Please stop super chatting me, but the think tank does appreciate you. Definitely, my friends. And for those of you, I don't say this often, but 25% of all contributions to the channel do go to charity. And I'll put out a video of that probably sometime later this month, just sharing receipts for everybody. Is there any common stock dilution to the AMC preferred equity unit dividend? Is there any common stock dilution due to the APE dividend? The number of shares of common stock outstanding, 516,820,595, remains unchanged as a result of the distribution of the APE units. Unchanged means no fucking dilution. In addition to the 516.8 million shares of common stock of AMC outstanding on August 19th, an additional 516,820,595 APE units will become outstanding on the ex-dividend date of August 22nd. Therefore, because these stock ticker APEs are all going and only going to existing shareholders, there's no dilution from this initial APE dividend. Straight from the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. AMC. Dilution occurs only when the AMC board decides that the company should issue additional APE units in the future. AMC expects that it will decide to issue more APEs with the express purpose of debt reduction or repayment, along with other potential uses for additional APEs, as has previously been communicated publicly. Now, off the FAQ, I think Pantheon would probably agree with me in stating that issuing of more APE and diluting APE and converting it into AMC would be the best fucking thing that I could ask for as an AMC shareholder, because it would make AMC's share price go up. And theoretically, Adam Aron could reverse stock split after doing the issuance and reaping the benefits of billions of fucking dollars into AMC's coffer to pay off its debt, increasing the stock price, and then reverse splitting the shares, bringing us right back to where we started without dilution or with very little dilution whatsoever. Regardless, I highly doubt that retail is going to stop buying anyway. So even if more shares are issued, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get snatched up by retails. What do you think?
I'm with you, and this is not Adam Aron's first rodeo. You know, it's the language is so key here, guys. It says dilution only occurs when the AMC board decides the company should issue additional AMC preferred equity units. Issue, that means approved but not issued, right? That only refers to the 483 million that'll still be remaining after Monday. That doesn't refer to the 4 billion that they could potentially turn into apes. Those are not outstanding. You know what I'm saying? So there's a big difference here, guys, in the language, right? They're talking about issue additional AMC preferred equity units. The only ones they can issue yet that they've officially transferred over is the initial 1 billion. So put the 4 billion out of your heads, guys.
And
sorry, Cash.
If your due diligence is correct, the fact is that the shorts have to pay for this fucking dividend. The shorts have to pay it. If not, AMC would have to pay it. So why is AMC going to force themselves to pay for a dividend unless the shorts need the shares of APE? It makes no sense, people. They're not going to dilute and lose money. They're going to dilute only if hedge funds and broker dealers are begging for these APE units in addition to what's already been put out there, thus leading to the shorts having to cover and close their positions. Cash, you want to chime in, brother?
Even if it were a dilution, it would do nothing to the amount of synthetic.
That's right. It wouldn't do anything to help the market makers, the broker dealers, the short hedge funds. It would only help the share price.
Yeah, there are way too many now.
Yeah. Exactly. People seem to forget rehypothecations, where the same equities are borrowed and traded back and forth. ISDA contracts, ISDA contracts, futures, swaps, all sorts of things that are used to manipulate and further kick the can and trade shares of stocks and equities against each other. People seem to forget about shorts marked as long, where a short position is illegally marked as a long position, which turns a liability into an asset on their books, thus cooking the fucking books, figuratively speaking. People forget about the married puts and married calls, the divorced puts and the divorce calls that are used to hide, to prevent open interest, and used to move short interest from the hedge funds into failures to deliver by the market makers. The market is a very complicated and convoluted thing, and it's become that way to prevent you and I, the retail investors, from making money. But we figured out their fucking game, and now you can see the desperation that they've been dealing with here for the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. But let's say year and a half. It's not been 2 years. Anyway, let's move on here. So again, when will I receive the APE units? AMC will be delivering the APE units via computer share to the DTC, who will then deliver them to your broker. How each broker then handles the dividend is determined by the broker and governed by your agreement. Each broker determines what securities it will support on its platform. Some brokerage firms may deposit APEs quickly, while others may take several days to do so. If you have any questions, contact your broker. Bothering your broker right now would not be a bad thing. Grilling them, putting the fucking screws to your broker dealer right now would not be a bad thing, so that they know that we will speak up, we will be loud and proud and demand our motherfucking dividend. I am an international shareholder. Will I receive the APE unit dividend? AMC will be delivering the APE dividend via the DTC, again, via computer share to the DTC, for all shareholders who will then deliver them. We've stated that many times now. Shares of common stock held through a depository receipt program, such as DRS, will be subject to the terms of that arrangement, which we stated a few minutes ago in this video. If you didn't catch that, go back. Shares of common stock. All right. AMC does not control how brokers choose to process the dividend. Each broker determines what securities. If you have questions, contact your fucking broker. Okay? We keep saying that because it's on here every time, because it's the fact. Are you getting a recurring theme here from AMC? AMC is going to do everything to make sure that this goes smoothly. And the broker dealers and short hedge funds and market makers are likely to fuck it up.
They couldn't be hinting at us even more than they currently are, right?
They're not
He
even
said
hinting.
it in the earnings call too.
Yeah, they're fucking putting it right there properly. And then it's on the DTC. Is the DTC going to fail to deliver? Is your broker dealer going to fail to deliver? You figure that out for yourself. You know?
Just as Tony DeNaro says, Adam Aron has done his job. He's issued them out, and he said, guys, it's in your hands. And it's up to us to call our brokers and push them. And if apes start trading on Monday and you're told you're not going to get your ape until Wednesday, that seems like a problem. So call your brokers, ask for a senior broker. Don't talk to the first person that answers the phone, because they probably just don't know.
No.
And by the way, I'm going to add, just be nice. Just don't be mean, right?
Tell them
be strong.
Tell them what they did to you when you called over there asking for a senior broker. What did the junior broker do?
The junior broker, when I called and asked about this, read off to me from the AMC Entertainment website the exact release, and I heard that and said, no, this doesn't sound right. Where are you getting this from? And they said, I just looked up the AMC Entertainment website. And I said, no, that's why I asked for a senior broker. See, I could do that myself, and I've done that.
We already did.
I want to know what has RBC got? Right. And then they put me the senior broker, and they told me from their archive, their records, this is exactly what RBC is doing. And they laid it all out, and it matches exactly what we're seeing here in Adam Aron's FAQ.
That's right. That's why we asked to speak with a senior broker. How's the issuance of the AMC preferred equity unit dividend taxed? All right. Taxes, very important. In the U.S., the APE unit dividend is not expected to be a taxable dividend. However, any investors who receive cash in lieu of a fractional unit recognize a taxable gain or loss in respect to the receipt of such cash. Again, we stated earlier, if you've got 40.4 shares of AMC, for example, you're going to get 40 shares of APE and 0.4 worth of a share of AMC in cash. Now, you will then possibly incur taxable capital gains or have a taxable capital loss write-off in respect to the receipt of such cash. These are fractional shares only. Most people only have a couple fractional shares, so it's really a tiny, tiny drop in the bucket, especially if you believe, if you know what we know, and you believe that you're going to be so fucking rich. I don't think you're going to care about paying taxes on $4 for the. Exactly. I'm not here to give accounting advice. This is not tax advice, legal advice, or financial advice of any kind. None of what you've heard on this channel is that, more so than education and entertainment. And beyond that, do your own due diligence. Hire your CPA, hire your tax accountant, hire your tax lawyer, and make sure you've got all your ducks in a row.
And just like
Go ahead.
Just like Boss says, we're not giving financial advice. We're not accountants, exactly as he just said. But if I'm being told that I may end up having to take cash because the brokerage doesn't want to give me the APE, cash will be taxed. An APE won't be taxed until you sell it. So what I would say, not financial advice, if I was in that position talking to my broker, I would tell them, I don't want you to make a decision for me that forces me to have to put this down in my taxes next year until I decide to sell my APE, if that day comes anytime soon. So I want the APE. I don't want cash.
An easy... That's right. An easy fix to that, if you have, say, half a share of AMC, you could either sell the half a share of AMC or buy another half a share to make it one whole share. Therefore, you wouldn't receive a cash dividend. Easy peasy. People have until the 19th, theoretically, according to AMC here, to do so. An IRS Form 8937 will be published on our website when finalized, which is expected by August 31st. This is just in case you need to make any filings with the IRS. AMC is being awesome and giving you the fucking form you would need so you can print it or download it and give it to your accountant or tax professional. Tax laws vary from country to country. International shareholders should check the laws in their respective countries. The above does not constitute tax advice, and you should consult with a tax professional. I am seeing references that people are calling this a spin-off. Are you selling off any part of the company? No. We are paying an AMC preferred equity unit dividend. The NYSE is categorizing AMC's payment of the APE unit dividend as a spin-off because AMC is issuing a new security that is different from our common stock. Easy peasy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and if you're still confused about the dividend, can you delay the dividend until the fourth quarter? Oh, Jesus, this is great.
Oh yeah, there should be a certain somebody that is a shyster that is not going to be present anymore, right?
Mm-hmm. We encourage you to review our securities filings with respect to the APE unit dividend together with our information page for detailed information about the APE units and the dividend. The dividend process has begun. The necessary documents have been filed with the SEC. Legal notice has been given to the NYSE, and significant numbers of shares of our common stock already have traded in the market, informed by the knowledge and expectation that the dividend will issue under the announced terms. Therefore, the dividend will and must proceed as outlined in our filings. Ladies and gentlemen, off the record, we're going to be so fucking rich. What shares will be used in the diluted earnings per share calculation when you report third share earnings? This is a good question. The diluted earnings per share calculation for third quarter of 2022 will include both common stock and APE units. Can investors short the APE units? The AMC preferred equity units are expected to trade in a manner similar to other equity securities on the NYSE. Short selling is legal in the United States and permitted by the NYSE. Therefore, APE units can be sold short in the same way that other equity securities on the NYSE can be sold short, and there's no action that AMC can take to prevent short selling. Off the record, we did a video about a week and a half ago here discussing why shorting preferred shares is a terrible fucking idea. And we spent about a half hour discussing that in depth if you'd like to go watch that video. But right now I'll say, put it simply, there's very little liquidity, very, very little liquidity in preferred shares. And shorting those could be potentially exponentially more dangerous than shorting common stock. I'll leave it at that.
Can I add one part?
Please do.
So also the intent of preferred shares when every company puts them into their initial public offerings is to help the company in the event of a hostile takeover of their Class A common stock. So they're able to go ahead without shareholder votes and issue preferred stock as a means to protect the board and protect the company in the event that another company comes in with a hostile takeover of their Class A common stock. That's why they don't need votes to do what they want with preferred shares, but they need our votes to convert preferred shares or preferred units into Class A common stock if they were even to ask us to do that. So that's an important part that people need to remember as well about the preferred units.
Yep.
The other part about the issue of why they're hard to short sell and they can be short sold is because they're set up to help companies avoid a hostile takeover. Preferred shares are recallable by the company. Class A common stock is recallable by the brokers. Big difference there. So you're really risking things if you try and short preferred stock because the company can call it back because it's there to help the company typically in the event of a hostile takeover. They don't want to leave them floating out there. They can call it back at a certain trigger price embedded within their preferred units. That's another part. Guys, go
Bingo!
watch Boss's stream on.
And
Go watch.
collateral as well.
100%. Go watch Boss's other video on the preferred units not being able to, the shorting issues with it, guys. It's well worth it.
How can I buy or sell APE units after they begin trading? They'll be available for trade under the stock ticker symbol APE, APE. They can be bought and sold through brokerage firms that offer AMC unit securities on their platforms. Do I need to register my shares with a transfer agent, computer share, in order to receive the dividend? No, you do not need to register your shares of common stock with AMC's transfer agent, computer share, in order to receive the dividend. Okay, we've already discussed the rest of this. If you have any questions, contact your brokerage. Are the AMC preferred equity units automatically directly registered with AMC's transfer agent? No. The AMC preferred equity units are not automatically DRS'd, directly registered with AMC's transfer agent computer share, except in the case of common stock that is already directly registered. So from my understanding of this, if you're already DRS'd, then the APE that you receive will be DRS'd. If you're not DRS'd with computer share, the APE received will not be DRS'd with computer share, which is perfect by me because I'm not DRSing shit. To each his own.
That's correct. Everyone needs to remember computer share isn't just direct registering stock. They're also the transfer agent for AMC. Two very different activities that could align, but they don't have to align. So if you want to direct register your stock, you can do that. If you don't, you don't have to. And this does not require you to register or not register. It does whatever you've already done is what you're going to get. So no worries.
That's right, brother. How do I sign up to get my I own APE and I own AMC NFTs? To be eligible for the two current NFTs, you need to sign up as a member of AMC Investor Connect and self-identify as a shareholder by August 31st. So if you've still not gotten your NFT, you can go sign up for AMC Investor Connect, self-identify as a shareholder by August 31st, and you will get it. It's easy as hell. Go to amctheaters.com/stockholders to visit the AMC Investor Connect webpage, sign up, do Follow the instructions. Super easy. I think I did it in like a minute, maybe 30 seconds. U.S. investors will need to create a free AMC Stubs account and self-identify as a shareholder by checking the box indicating I am an AMC stockholder in the AMC Stubs account profile. You'll not receive an email confirmation. It's not necessary. International investors may sign up to receive AMC Investor Connect emails by providing their email and country of residence using the webpage, blah, blah, blah. NFT redemption instruction emails will be sent to the eligible AMC Investor Connect members during or before the week of September 19th. During or before the week of September 19th, 2022. If you do not have a Wax wallet, please do not try to open one until you have received the redemption instruction email. Okay, listen up. If you do not have a Wax wallet yet, do not try to open one until you've received the redemption email.
And that's important because if you do it the way they're describing it, AMC will pay the fees for 1 year, and the fees are nothing. It's really when you make a transaction to sell or transfer your NFT. And I can confirm for international investors, when you fill your email into that box and put your country of residence down, it will not send you any kind of confirmation, but it works. And I can also tell you that if you have more than one email address and you put them all in, you'll get an NFT for every one you put in. Just saying.
Nice. If I'm just signing up now for AMC Investor Connect, can I get the past NFTs? Congratulations, you're now eligible to receive future NFTs and other offers. The very nature of NFTs is they are finite in quantity. Therefore, unfortunately, we are not able to issue past NFT offers that have already expired. This preserves value, in my opinion, so it is a good idea to hang on to them. However, in knowing that those of you who are getting an ION Ape NFT might also want a matching ION AMC NFT, which was issued in January of 22, we've created a new updated version, dated September of 2022, of the original ION AMC. If you're already a member of AMC Investor Connect or enrolled by August 31st, you'll get both of these new NFTs for free with our compliments. And they are sharp. They are sharp.
And they tie potential future NFTs to owning the ION AMC NFT. For example, the black Highcroft AMC NFT that came out automatically got put into your Wax wallets for anyone that had an ION AMC NFT that came out back in January. So there's advantages to getting these. So make sure you guys sign up for Investor Connect. Put in your email address if you're international. Get the free NFTs. Doesn't cost you a cent. Takes you 10 seconds to put the email address in. Takes you probably 3 minutes to follow the Wax wallet instructions. And if people need, we can do a video on how to do that process when the time comes if people need it. But it's a cool thing to have. I'd recommend it. It's free.
Thank you, Larry Lewis. Appreciate you, and I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, my friend. Forward-looking statements. Real quick, I'll make this. This communication includes forward-looking statements with the meanings of federal securities laws. Statements that are not historical facts, including statements about AMC's beliefs and expectations, are forward-looking statements. These may be identified by many keywords, as shown above on my screen. I will not read this whole thing, but you can pause it if you want to read what this says. You are cautioned not to place undue reliance on these forward-looking statements, which speak as of only the date they are made. They should not be read as a guarantee of future performance or results and will not necessarily be accurate as indications of the times at or by which such performance or results will be achieved. AMC does not intend or undertake no duty to update any information contained herein to reflect future events or circumstances, except as required by applicable law, and nothing you've heard on this channel is financial, tax, or legal advice of any fucking kind. That being said, in the U.S. markets, market makers are legally allowed to sell stock short without having located shares before doing so. This exemption to Reg Show's locate requirements is ripe for abuse, according to Dave Lauer, and the SEC Gov has just fined IMC $125,000 for abusing this exemption. Ladies and gentlemen, we have proof left and right every single day of the manipulation on the markets and the fact that the shorts are still selling shares that they don't have and options that are not hedged for with the actual shares which they're selling them, because they have an exemption to Reg Show. So even if a stock is placed on, on the short sale restricted list, it doesn't really mean shit, because market makers can then sell more synthetic shares and naked shorts under the guise of infinite liquidity in order to provide liquidity. All in the name of liquidity. They've created a situation in which, in my expectations, billions and billions of shares of AMC theaters exist, and it will potentially lead to a short squeeze of epic proportions. That does not mean that it will be immediate, that it will happen on August 22nd, 23rd, 25th, or anything of the sort. But we're in the end game now, ladies and gentlemen. And
more patient than infinite liquidity.
yes, sir, cash money always brings the good knowledge. In the name of infinite liquidity, they can make as many synthetic shares as they want, sell naked shorts as much as they want. And that, my friends, is why the number one short seller of AMC, per the most recent Bloomberg terminal that I saw last week, information I saw last week, has lost a 31% of their holdings. 31%. They have lost over 174 billions. 174 billions with an S has been lost in the last quarter by Susquehanna. And as
Emergency.
emergency. And as stated on our last video, as we looked at the 13 Fs from Citadel, Citadel in the last quarter has lost 94 billions with an S. And to top it all off, BlackRock. BlackRock in the last quarter hasn't lost billions. They lost $1,700,000,000,000 fucking dollars in the last quarter. $1.7 trillion in losses for BlackRock. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my man at Herb_83, Samuel Clemens, on Twitter. This man I've been working with this man for a long, long time now, since last year, on some information. And I will say that he always brings incredible details to my attention, such as the most recent NPort-P filing showing this, that IWM iShares by BlackRock shows that they lent out a majority of shares within IWM. A quick theory on why institutions like BlackRock are selling off their shares of AMC from within their ETFs and couldn't recall them or locate them is, in my opinion, because of the fact that BlackRock knows that they had 40 plus million shares of AMC, the vast majority of those likely being synthetic. And since they were loaning them out to broker dealers and to short hedge funds and family offices, then BlackRock would not be receiving the dividend for those shares, thus losing about 50% of all their value. Therefore, in order to prevent BlackRock from losing out on 50% of the majority of their AMC 40 plus million shares, they sold a lot of them from their ETFs to broker dealers like Robinhood and Webull and IBKR and Public and Moomoo and all these other assholes that trade on payment for order flow and to price distorting dark pools used like Citadel Connect and Virtue Financial, the market makers. They did this to get the synthetics off their books, give them to the give them to the broker dealers who desperately need them in order to deliver ape units to you and I. They're scratching each other's back and scrambling to cut these losses from further deteriorating their assets under management. Again, BlackRock lost $1.7 trillion. Susquehanna lost $174 billion. Citadel lost $94 billion. And they're the number 1 and number 4 top holders of AMC. Ladies and gentlemen, When I say holders, I meant to say shorters. They are the top 1 and top 4 shorts on AMC is Susquehanna and Citadel. I think that says a lot, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the end port filing again, and they can have these equities and these warrants and futures baked into the ETF, but it won't ever say who is after what securities or who bought them, but it shows who's borrowing from within the said ETF. Therefore, you can only dig so deep, but we do find that they are selling off these positions, and the most logical answer is usually the correct answer. The simplest, most logical answer would be that the broker-dealers need these, and BlackRock needs to get these off their books to prevent them from losing 50% or so approximately of all the value of the synthetic AMC that they're holding. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, my fine on that.
So I think that's about it for us. We've been here for about an hour and 16 minutes, and as much as I would love to discuss this further, I don't want to take the video too long, because I greatly appreciate everybody for being here and for sticking with us for this video. But I can assure you, you'll probably get a lot more insights from watching this hour and 15-minute long video than you would from just simply reading the Ape Dividend FAQ that was released today from AMC Theaters. Although I would like to greatly thank the legendary CEO Adam Aron, the board of directors of AMC, and Dr. Diane Garrett, CEO of Highcroft Mining Corporation. Together, they're going to make me so motherfucking rich, I'm not going to know what to do with all the money. And that's okay.
I think we're going to be a filthy rich.
I think you got that right, my friend. On that note, Pantheon AMC, please make sure you guys check him out on YouTube. He has a channel in which discusses similar but somewhat different things to what we discuss here. And I think it would be very beneficial to all of you that watch this video to also check out and see what Pantheon has to offer, because he can also offer a lot of other information that we can't.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody, I'd like to wish you peace and wealth. Pantheon, do you have any parting words, my friend?
I just want to ask everybody, please tweet this out, share this link, this live stream. Please share this with everybody out there you can, because there's so many bots and FUD that's being put out there. Some of it intentional, some of it just misunderstandings. These are the true facts right from the CEO's mouth, and it's been consistent with everything Marcel's been saying. Please share this stream, guys, with everybody. Let's get the truth out there and get people on point. Thank you, Marcel, for doing this.
Yeah, let's slay the dragons of ignorance.
That's right. The FUD, the dragons of ignorance, shall not persevere.
And I have a milkshake. And I have a straw. There it is.
And for God's sakes, like, share, and if you haven't, subscribe.
My straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your
Drink it
milkshake.
all up.
I drink it up.
Don't bully me, Daniel.
We're going to club the short hedge fund's head in with a fucking bowling pin.
I've seen things and been through things that somebody like you,
We
little
drink the
curly loft,
milkshake.
and if you're asking me to share stories with you that are frankly none of your business, maybe I'll give you a couple, and maybe you'll take a little smug look off your face. But I can date back to when I was 11 years old. I'm minding my own business, and I'm in a park. This guy, stranger to me, takes a piece of gum out of his pocket, he puts his mouth, and he just throws the wrapper on the ground. He publicly litters. He just publicly litters. And I saw that. I had to see these things at a young age. Sure, somebody came along, somebody picked it up, somebody threw it in the trash can. But for the few moments where that sat on the ground and the law was violated right here in my neighborhood, what about the time I'm on the sidewalk and I watch a guy cross the street and he's not even within the line? He's publicly jaywalking. There was a police officer standing right there. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. We have chaos. We have anarchy at times in Westland. You know, you look at me. There was years where my father didn't even make $100,000, or barely made $100,000. And sure, we had a maid, but she only came twice a week. What do you think happened the other 5 days? You think those dishes washed themselves? You think those clothes got themselves in the hamper? My neighbors were twins. They got a Mercedes for their birthday, but just one. They had to share that car. They had to share that car. Who gets to drive today? I had to see these things. You ask me about being a gangster. You think I'm scared to go to Brazil? You haven't seen the things I've seen. You haven't been down that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the legendary Chael Sonnen.
Which one of y'all dead motherfuckers just said that shit? Was it you, String Bean? You skinny ass looking motherfucker? Turn around and say it again. Turn around and say it again. Turn around and say it again.
Will you please be quiet?
John, that is the President of the United States.
I don't care who it is, he's ruining Hamlet.
Oh, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now. Now you fucked up. 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 Now you have fucked up.
Mr. President, will you please be quiet?
Suck my presidential cock, bitch. You fat ass piece of shit. You tubble-lard looking motherfucker. What? 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 What?
What?
What? What? Hey!
What?
What? Huh? I don't know why you're looking up at me, bitch. Play's on stage. I'm not putting on a play up here. I'm trying to be entertained right now.
Mr. President, be quiet.
John, calm down.
Listen to the woman, John. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Hey, Acty, stop the play. Acty! Ho! Acty! Hey! Ho! I gotta go to the bathroom. I drank too much liquid. Now I gotta piss. I got a bottle. I got a bottle. It's all right. Rewind the play 5 minutes, though, because that fat piece of shit was talking. I couldn't pay attention to what you guys was doing. So rewind the play 5 minutes. And you shut the fuck up.
Holy shit. That, ladies and gentlemen, was The Whitest Kids You Know is the name of that show. And I would like to thank one of our members of the community here, Sigma, my man Sigma Variant here, one of our mods in the think tank, for coming up with all these awesome, hilarious meme videos. And everybody else here, Paul P for your awesome music, Queen Bee and Road Dog and Ryan and all you guys for being incredibly positive all the time, Pantheon and Cash and all you other guys, Martin for the wealth of information that you provide. You know, huge shout out to everybody and everybody in the chat, Chris, Angelina, Harlem's, Andrew, Diaz, Jam Bams, Grandpa, Fahad. I appreciate every single one of you, TMI's baby mama. Thank you everybody for being here with us. I hope you all have a great day. Appreciate your support. Peace and fucking wealth. We're gonna be so motherfucking rich. Have a good day, people. Can you believe that people still think I'm joking? People still think I'm fucking being facetious when I say that shit. I'm like, no, that's just the TLDR. People kept asking me, what the fuck is the TLDR on these long ass Reddit posts and YouTube videos? Well, TLDR is that the economy and the fucking global financial system is in the shitter. And we're going to be so fucking rich as a goddamn byproduct over the over-leveraging of these hedge funds, banks, prime brokers, family offices, and the Federal fucking Reserve and central banks around the world. I want my fucking money.
You're so right, my friend. You nailed it.
Griffin, I want my fucking money. Yo, motherfucker. Shit, we're gonna be so fucking rich.
You smoking that Kenny pack after Moab, boy.
Great. Damn it, we're gonna be so fucking rich. Griffin, I want my fucking money.
You're an original,
Hey,
aren't
Yellen,
you?
Cowboy.
give me the fucking money. Get the goddamn money printer out.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that song is real catchy.
Bounty letter.
So fucking rich, motherfucking Get the goddamn money printer out.
You won't believe it.
Come on, J. Powell. Get that fucking money printer.
We have to bail out the bank to pay me.
And I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna dance.